Let's go and check our chart of accounts, general ledger, master records, individual processing, FS00 centrally. Okay, and OOGL. So for that, this is our GL front end portal. And here we display our chart of accounts. Chart of accounts are basically designed at the back end that we have already done. So to have a look as how is our chart of account really looks like company code OOGL. Okay. Perhaps we haven't made any account, that's why we'll make an account 100 OOGL. Okay, GL account type, that will be a balance sheet account. Accounts group will be equity, but not equity. Oh yes, it will be equity, but not this number range. $20,000 OOGL and balance sheet account, equity. And this is the chart of accounts: income accounts, expense, equity, liquid funds, assets. This is our chart of accounts. Okay. And this was our retained earnings. And retained earnings account, control data, that's the next tab. In the next tab, of course, the account currency is taken from the company code currency that we set in configuration. Okay, balance sheet accounts, for example, like banks and cash will have local currency only because it's local currency where those banks and cash accounts are being operated. Posting without tax allowed, tax category, we don't need any tax categories in retained earnings account. In SAP, we have 4 types of reconciliation accounts for assets, customers, vendors, and contract accounts. This is for utility companies like electricity companies or gas utility companies. Over there, the accounts basically are a contract between the customers and the company. For that, we need different heads of reconciliation accounts for various segments like industrial customers, domestic customers, business customers, and so on. Open item management is only reserved for accounts that deal with payables and receivables and GRIR accounts in material management, plus the bank's ingoing and outgoing will be the open item management. Now, the line items, the transactions will then be knocked off or reconciled at month end or year end. Those accounts will need open item management. Sort key, this is important, 001. Now, there are various categories for sorting. Sorting is also used for reconciliation as well. Okay. Field status group G001, the field status that we assigned in the last lecture. Okay. Now, accounts like bank accounts cannot be made reconciliation accounts, but there is always a need to reconcile bank incoming and outgoing with the central bank account, that is reconciliation account. And since we only have 4 types and categories for reconciliation, banks is not included. So in order to make any account of reconciliation without explicitly being mentioned as reconciliation account in control data, we then tick this, but this is mutually exclusive. If you tick this, then in control data, it will have a conflict with this indication, with this field. So either you keep this empty and fill this up, okay, post automatically only, okay, or you just untick this, and if you have a reconciliation account for customer, vendors, assets, and your contract, then of course you don't need this check. But other than that, of course, it will need this check. Relevant to cash flows are for bank accounts and cash accounts, and to make cash flow statements. Save. This was our first account. Okay, and now we want to see what we have made. So we will shift to OOGL, and we have this retained earnings account. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll just switch to another company code just to uh, save our time to create master data of GL. Expense account and planned depreciation, debit card USD expense, debit card AD expense, petty expense. Okay. Double click this. Okay. We double click this and we copy it. And this is also a way to replicate an account in another company code or in the same company code. Okay. So for Orient Overseas, we are going to make an expense account. Okay. Like, for example, admin expenses or marketing expenses. Control data, bank interest, all the same. G02, enter. G02 is not yet. G004, cost accounts. Now, cost accounts will actually require cost centers to be mentioned. Post automatically is not meant for expense accounts because we have to make manual entries in these accounts. In control data, we will have text category and sort key. Expense accounts cannot be open item because these are absorbed, even income accounts. Now, cost element category. Now, what is this basically? Cost element, if we have to, okay. Now, over here, account group is expense account and control data. In control data for controlling area, now controlling area is at the higher precedence. Okay. Now, what is the higher precedence? Because controlling area controls company codes. Okay. Save it. And we have an account. Next is liquid funds, petty cash, double click, copy to OOGL. Check all the settings. G01. It cannot be posted automatically. It's relevant to cash flow. Petty cash, let's say cash account. And we can have a different currencies like AUD or USD, but you will have to mention the currency over here. Like over here, we can mention currency. Okay. All right. Now, next thing is, oh yes, we missed one part. So we can edit our GL account, and that is control data, local currency, tax category, alternative account. Open item is not for assets, it is for other assets and liabilities like payables and receivables. And this is not going to be PKR. How is it in PKR? Oh, okay. Let's change it. OOGL, liquid funds, cash account. Okay, over here, now we are in WGL, local currency, valuation group. Now, valuation group is what currency and valuation profile that we made. We can make groups also. And AED, we can change the currency, balance in local currency. This is important. And relevant to cash flow, all good. Save, and data was saved. Okay. So some reconciliation accounts can also accept input, but usually reconciliation accounts don't have an option for input, but we can make it possible with this. For example, if you want to enter bank charges in the main bank account, then it will require input. Okay, but that will happen through another manual entry as well. Or if you want to make adjustment account, then of course you can follow this option. Now, since we have equity and expense and liquid funds accounts, now let's go and check our document entry. Let's enter our first document.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
Reconciliation account, if you can define that thing, means we can do some manual entries in that, or
Yes, to some extent it is allowable, but it's not usually encouraged. But in some cases,
okay.
in some unavoidable circumstances, like for example, adjustment entries at year end, you can do that, but
Mhm.
of course after proper
So,
authorizations.
what's basically reconciliation account will be?
Reconciliation account is the central account that keeps all the balances of outgoings and incomings or receivables or payables. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
you cannot
Okay.
list all the vendors in the balance sheet. So you need a representative account. That is the reconciliation account. Same goes for bank accounts also.
Okay.
Zero
Thank you.
one zero one 2025 0101 40 and 30201. Enter. Okay, enter. It's a okay. Number range is missing. So what we'll do? Copy it first. Number range now. Number range is for documents because when you enter a document and post it, it generates a document number. Okay. Now for this, we from this help pop-up, we go with this button, which is technical information. Sorry, customizing. It's not showing, but this is the button. Customizing without specifying project. Okay. Define document number ranges. Instead of defining it, we will copy the company code number ranges to our company code. Number ranges, we won't give any range, so it covers all. And AA42 is our template. And target company code is WOGL. It will execute and copy for all the number ranges and for the fiscal years as well. So 2024-23 is added, but 25 is not added. So what we'll do is we'll go back and we will copy to fiscal year. Company code WOGL, no ranges, which means maximum range. Source fiscal year is 2024, 2025. Execute, confirm. Okay, interval is added. Okay, in just 2 steps, you manage to. So in real life scenarios, you will use SAP's template company codes. That is 0001 or DE01. Okay. So we've done that. Now, next, that objection it will raise is document number, not document number, but authorizations. Okay, now we are good. Let's say 10,000 AED cost center. Do we have a cost center? I don't know. GL start search. Okay, we have two P1000 and say P1000, 10,000, 27 Jan. Okay. Oh, P1000, 10,000, 10K, 27 Jan. Okay. Next is 50. Now, posting keys, I'll explain that later. 10101. Enter. No amount tolerance range entered for company code. So this is the next objection which was expected. We go for customizing again, define tolerance group for employees. We go from here, either here or from here, and continue. Okay, define tolerance groups. Now, what are tolerance groups? These are basically provisions that what is the threshold ceiling for entering amounts in documents, maximum amounts, financial amounts in documents, and in entries, WOGL, WOGL. Amount per document is this, amount per open item is this, that this is the range maximum open item. This is allowed 2% discount, for example, and we save it. Okay, this is done. Now we'll have to re-enter the document that was at P01L spacebar and 0201, enter 10,000, P1000, P, P50, 50, 101. Okay, star, enter, and display document overview. Let's post it. Let's see if it allows us. Item category is not allowed. Okay. SM30. Right now, we're just disabling this WOGL. P01L. 1,000. What are business areas similar to your business verticals? Okay. Enter, enter. document overview and post it. Universal ledger. Okay, next objection. Let's see what this is about. It will show us the reason. It should be in other ledgers that we might have some. Okay, BMFGT2V9XI. For that, we'll go to fin sc ledger and currency conversion setting are missing. Okay, BMFGT. Enter. Ledger BM company code settings. We'll have to delete the entry because this is copying from 0L. There's an extension ledger. All right.